Hey, hello. It is Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and I'm popping in today to do a segment on passion, passion in your career. And how do you find more? And why would you want to find more? Well, I'm glad you asked. And, I've been asked before, how important is it to be passionate about, what it is that you do? But it's 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 important, but it's not a one and done. It's not the same thing for everybody. So I kind of want to take you into some different aspects. But first, I want to start with why it's important. So having passion in your career allows you to find meaning uh, with what you do. It helps you to connect to your motivation. So kind of, what gets you up and what keeps you going and keeps you fueled. So it leads you to a place where you feel more satisfied and more fulfilled in whatever it is that you're doing for a career. And career might be that you're working for someone else. It could be you're contracting with someone else, or it could be that you have your own business. So that all encompasses careers. So, passion is it's about you, and there's some misconceptions around it. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit today. But beyond how you feel, it also ties to productivity. When you have meaning behind what you're doing, you're more engaged, you're more productive. You engage and just you do your work differently. So it takes on a different context. So Richard Branson had a quote that I thought was pretty cool. And it was, there is no greater thing that you can do with your life and your work than to follow your passions in a way that serves you and the world. So it is about you in what you do, because just because you have a good job doesn't mean that you are fulfilled. Just because you're earning a good paycheck doesn't mean that it isn't a grind for you. And some of the things that I see, it's like there's a trade-off. It's an either or. Either you've got to have security of the paycheck, and certainly today that is really important. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to sacrifice feeling passionate or engaged in your career. It's not an either or, it's an and. So today is how we're going to do that. So there are a few things that are important, or things that you need to know about what passion is and kind of how it translates into your career before we get into the how. So some things that I want you to know is that, it may not already exist. You may not feel any passion or connection with the work that you do. And that's okay, because it's not something that you are born with or not. It's not like you're some lucky being that was born with an enormous amount of passion and excitement and enthusiasm for what you do. And, oh, you poor soul, you weren't born with any. It's not that at all. There are things that are inside of you that lead you to your passion. So it's a matter of being open. It's a matter of being curious and discovering, curating, piecing together things that build your passion. So it's something you create. It's not something that you either have, you don't. So that's the first thing that I wanted to know. The second thing that I wanted you to know about passion is that it's not all or nothing. You may have just great passion for your entire career. It just lights up your entire being, just everything that you do, everything about your career. And if that's you, then you're a lucky child and good for you. But for most people, maybe it's not passion around the entire career, but it's passion around aspects of career. It is, certain things that you do, certain roles, certain tasks that are part of your career or business that allow you to feel passion. And if that's the case, terrific. That's a great starting thread. So, starting there, paying attention, incorporating more of that, making decisions in favor of that are things that you can do. The third thing I want you to know is it's not carved in stone. You may get to a point where you're very passionate about what it is that you do for your career, or maybe you're very passionate about certain aspects of your career, and then it changes. Well, sometimes that happens. Sometimes too much of a good thing. It could be that it's just run its course and you're meant to move on to something else. So it's not It's not stagnant. It's not carved in stone. It evolves. It flows. It moves and it changes because you, as a human being, are always evolving and changing. Tomorrow, if you listen to this live again, you'll be in a different place. So, it's not something that stays the same. So it's not carved in stone. I love to cook, but there is no way, well, especially today, that I would open a restaurant. It's a passion, but it's not something I want to do as part of my career. So let's get into how. Let's get into how you can discover. And maybe you have no passion and you just want to put some passion in your career. Maybe you want to increase the passion that you have in your career. Regardless, let's give you some ways that you can do that, some tips and some strategies. So here are 3 tips to put more passion in your career. The first is ask yourself good, thought-provoking questions. I came across an article on passion and career advice. And it had some really cool questions. And it would be things that you could ask yourself, like, what drives you? Okay. What drives you? What doesn't drive you? What makes you feel proud? What makes you, what gets you fired up? What do you get really stoked about? What gives you a sense of purpose? So take some time and explore these questions. And, maybe you get a journal and you write them down. Maybe you open a Word doc. Maybe you do a mind map. But what I want you to do is take each one of those questions and ask it again and again and again, and just get as many answers as you can out of your head and onto a piece of paper or into your document, so that it gives you an opportunity to look at and explore some things that you may be passionate about, because then you have information to apply. So knowledge is potential power, but when you apply it, that's when it becomes true power. So then you've got something to do. So the second tip I want to give you is to discover your career values. So this is something that I do with all of my coaching clients around career and business, is to figure out what makes them tick when it comes to their career. What motivates them? And so that's what values do. Values for you in your career are things that are important to you, but when I say things, it's not the tasks and responsibilities of the role. So if you had 2 jobs that were identical, they had the same title, same wage, same responsibilities, but they were in 2 different organizations, or they were in 2 different departments, you would experience them different. So it's not, or differently, it's not the tasks, the roles, the responsibilities that you do as part of your work. It's how you experience doing those. It's how you experience performing your role. So what are you looking to get out of it? And it's usually a 1 or a 2 word phrase. So the exercise, and if you want a copy of the exercise, just email me at Debbie@gettingtoclarity. I'll be happy to send you the exercise. But here is how you do it. What I do with my clients is I ask these questions. And the first question is, what must be present for you in your career that's valuable? So what must be present? The second question is, what is valuable to you beyond the roles and responsibilities that you have in your career? And the third is, what's most important to you to experience in your career? So you can play around with those questions, and you might say that, I want to have a great team, or I need to be respected for the work that I do. I need to be acknowledged and appreciated. I hear that a lot when I work with clients. I also hear, I want to have the opportunity to advance, or I want to have the opportunity to develop professionally. That's important to some people. I want to have flexibility. Maybe with your family, you need more flexibility. Maybe you want more autonomy, fairly compensated. Or there's a lot of things that may be important to you. And so the idea is that you do just a brain dump of everything that you can think of, and then prioritize them to figure out what is the most important to you. That is something that you need to consider when generating more passion in your career. What is it that that drives you, because your career values are a form of motivation. They're how you know right from wrong and where your boundaries should be. So knowing your career values is a way that you can develop more passion in what you do. You choose in favor of you. And then the third thing that I want to give you, the third tip I want to give you around creating or finding more passion in your career is that what are the things that excite you? So I kind of want to go to the feeling side of it now. What I know sounds trite. What are the things that excite you? But paying attention to things that just feel easy and effortless, things that make you feel like you are on fire, en fuego, that you just feel motivated and in that zone, in that flow. So paying attention to what those things are and then following that thread to incorporate more of it that may lead you to your passions. So here's what I want to leave you with today. And that is that this is a process. This is not a one and done check, you mark it off the list. This is something that evolves. This is something that you discover about yourself. And you got to be open and have a curiosity about it. You have everything that you need inside of you to do this, to figure it out, to figure out what's next. You just have to figure out what is getting in the way. And if I can be of good service in helping you as a partner to figure out what gets in the way, I would be delighted. If you'd like to schedule some time to chat, you can grab some time on my calendar at www.claritywithdebbie.com. So again, www.claritywithdebbie.com. And I'd be honored to listen and learn more about you and see if we are a fit and I can help you move forward. So with that, I hope that you use these tips and strategies to find more passion in your career. And until next time, which will be next Thursday at 11, here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve. Have a really great day, and bye-bye for now. Take care.